Hello everyone. So today we'll be looking at how to create our data visualization in Tableau. Okay. So now, what is data visualization? Now, data visualization is the graphical representation of data in order to discover insights or patterns. All right, in order to help us make informed decision. All right. So now I'm going to take us on how we are going to create in terms of the diagrams, data visualization in Tableau. Now, the first thing we need to do is that after you source your information, okay, you can see I have a data set whereby I connected both the sales and the state. You can see both of them, and the total information that I have. You can see we call them fields. So the fields also means columns. All right. Then I'm going to click on sheet one here. Now, please take note that in Tableau, if you exhaust one particular sheet, you have to create another. All right. Now, let us look at what we have to do. Now, the first thing you can see KPI, that's the key performance indicator, is the total sales, total quantity, and the customers. All right. Now, the first thing they said we should do is that they want to see the region by sales. Okay, the region by sales, or yeah, the region by sales by gender. Now, I'm going to use three columns: the region, sales, and gender. Now, this is what I'm going to do. I'm going to drag the region where we have columns. You can see that. Then I'm going to drag the sales. You can see we did sales, okay? Then I'll drag the sales down here. Now you can see that I have just been able to just drag the region to the columns and the sales to the rows. Okay, so these are the dimension, the measures as meaning numerical values, and dimensions categorical values. Now you come from standard here and change to entire view. All right, so you do this now I want to have my numbers. Okay, so we have this diagram but it's not complete, so we need to edit it. So I will hold my control, hold your control, then drag that sales because I want to make a duplicate and drop it on the labels. So by the time I drag and drop it, now you see that we have the numbers showing here. Okay, so each bars have numbers. Now what I'm going to do now is I want to edit this. Now if I want to edit this information whereby they're going to have the numbers, this is what I will do. I'll click on this drop down icon here, click on format, and I change it from numbers to currency standard. You can see we have a US dollar sign here. Okay, that's it. So then I close my sum format for the sum of sales. If I want to do it again, click on this drop down icon, you go to format, then you see numbers. So you change it from numbers to currency standard. What if we want to change the currency? What we can do is we come down here and we select the one we want to use. Assuming you want to use Nigeria, you see we have Igbo. So we have the currencies according to tribe. Okay, not basically just the country. So you're going to see tribe like Igbo, Fulani, Yoruba, and the likes. Okay, then I close that information. Now I want to format in terms of the brightness of the color. Okay, I want to have a bold color. Okay, on my diagram. So I'll right click, format. Now we have what we call the fonts, alignment, shading, borders, and lines. So the first thing is I'll go to fonts. Now I will change this diagram from the Tableau book to the Tableau bold. Now you can see my informations are bold enough. Then I can also click on this, make it black. That's to make it more bold enough. Okay. Then what I'll do is I'll go to lines. Okay. Then you can see that we have this information. You can see that the lines in terms of row. So I'll go to row and you see grid lines. I'll change it to none. All right. So you can see that. Then also I want to do something. Let's go to sheet, change the ruler axis and click on solid. Okay. If you do that, click on solid, then make it black. So you can see that line. You want that line. Then you click on this as well. That's to tell in terms of the shape of the line. Okay, click on this, the first one, and I make the color black. Okay, so we have this. Now, what we have just done now is that we have just been able to create a diagram by the region by sales. So please let's ensure we hide this. right click and hide field labels for columns. Then they said by gender. So I'm going to look for my gender, drag, and drop it. Okay, it's asking me FM, meaning male or female. So I'll select all, apply, and OK. Okay, then the next thing I'm going to do is I'm going to click on that icon in gender and show filter. Okay, now you can see show filter. Then I'll change the conversion and I'll make it a single value drop down. Okay, so meaning that if I select one, we're going to see a reaction. You can see now if I select all, this is total sum. So in summary, the question is what is the sales per region, or which region made the highest sales? So from this diagram now we can make a conclusion saying that the south made the highest sales with a value of $1.2 million. Okay, approximately $1.2 million, followed by the Midwest and the West. Then the Northeast performed the least. Okay, how was I able to get that interpretation? It was the aid of what? The diagram. Now, if I change in respect to female, you can see for female we made more sales from the Midwest region. Then for the male, we made also from the South region. Okay, so that's the first diagram we do. I'll double click here and I'll rename it the region by sales. The region by sales by the gender. That's our first question. So you can see we have been able to answer this information. Okay, you can see now. Now the next one we are going to do, we're going to look at our diagram again. Now we have the month by the sales, meaning that they want to see the changes of sales over a period of time. Okay, now what I will do is I'll click on the sheet again, that's sheet 2, and you can see we have months. So I'll drag my month to the columns, then I will drag my sales to the rows. Okay, so to the rows. Now what I'm going to do now is that I want to extract the months. So you can see it is here. So click on this plus here. You can see we have quarterly. Okay, then click on the quarterly. You can see we have months. So remove the year, remove the quarter. Now you can see we have our months, but we're not done. Then we change it from the standard view to entire view. Now we have this. Yes, wonderful. Now the next thing we need to do is we need to ensure we have what we call data labels. Okay, labels. Okay, so what I will do is again hold your control, drag and drop on labels. So you can see we have our diagrams on each point. Okay, then another thing again is we need to make this information bold. So to make it information bold, we'll first of all let's hide this. Okay, then we right click, go to format. Remember we are still on the sheet. You can see sheet font. Then I change this from Tableau bold to Tableau bold. Now the reason why we use Tableau bold is to make our information visible. All right, and also take note, Tableau color, if we by default assignment is not a black, so we have to ensure we click the actual black that we want to use. Okay, so by the time we do this, now we have made the information bold. Then we go to lines because we want to remove the invisible lines. So I go to rows, gradients, none. I off this. Okay, then I go to sheet, the axis ruler, pick the first one and the line in between, and I make it black. Okay, so we have this. Then the next thing, I close my format line. Then the next thing we are going to do is that from this diagram now, we can see the progression in terms of sales. And when they ask us what month we made the highest sales, we can say October. Okay, and we need to add the currency. So let's add the currency. Come down here, click on the format, change it, custom. Okay, that's the United States. Then we can also make an approximation. Let's say we want to have the money in terms of millions. So what I'll do is I'll come to currency custom and I'll change the display unit to millions. Now you can see. But if you notice some informations are having 0.3 million, it doesn't make sense. Then we change it back to thousands. So just leave it at thousands. Okay. So I close. Now you can see that we can see the progression in terms of the sales. Okay, so it's best to use the line chart or the area chart to handle changes over time. Okay, so we can see that we made the highest sales in December, followed by October, then April. Then I think we make the least was in January. All right, so we have been able to see the performance of sales over the month. All right, over the month. Then I'll just rename this. I'll say the sales for the month by sales. Okay, so I'll just right click on this, do some little format. I'll edit this, select the name, change it and make it bold, centralize, apply, and okay. Okay, I can also give it a little background whereby I format the text, change the shading to black. Okay, black. Then go back again, right click, edit, and change the color for the words to white. Yeah, so I have something like this. Okay, then the next one we are going to look at is now the state by the sales, meaning that we want to know which state made the highest sales. Okay, which state made the highest sales. So to do this, I will click on the +3. Remember we said that by the time we use the particular diagram, it is exhausted. We can't use this again. Okay, then we sheet 3. Now we want to get in terms of let's see the question again. The state by the state. So we're going to use what we call a state map. A state map. Okay, so we'll do this. I will pick the states over to the columns, and I will also pick the sales over to the rows. So now this is not basically the state map. Now, if we want to use the state map, we have a section in Tableau which we call Show Me. Now, Show Me talks about the available graphs that's available for you to use. Okay, so Tableau can suggest diagrams that suit the two combinations of columns on your data set. So I'll go to Show Me, and I'm going to click on the first one, the second one here. So please ensure that your Tableau, your system is connected to the internet, or else you won't be able to get this information. Okay, please make sure your system is connected to the internet. Now, the next thing I want to do now is that you can see that we have this information here, but the diagrams are not showing. Okay, the diagrams are not showing. Now, one of the main reasons is that if you see unknown, okay, now we need to go back to where we have the map, edit location. Okay, then we can make changes. Okay, if it's on the wrong location. So let's say your information, your data set is in Nigeria and you are using a US. Okay, it's not going to work. But you can see that our actual information, the actual match. Okay, you can see, and you can see the selection areas. Now to apply the numbers and the diagram, what I'll do is I'll hold my control, drag and drop it on the labels. Okay, labels. You can see now we have the list of abbreviations. Then if I want the sales, I hold my control again, drag and drop. Okay, so you can see now the abbreviation of the state and the sales in each state. So this is what we do. We need to make this information bold. Now, what we can do is that if I want to bring this closer, please ensure you take your mouse close, then you zoom. Take your time gently. Okay, so that's how we zoom. Then I want to make this a bold information. What I'll do is this. So I'll right click, or there's no need to right click, just go to your label, click on the font format, okay, then change it from Tableau Book to Tableau Bold. Okay, then increase the size, make it 10. You can see. All right, lovely. Then what we can do again is that we can also change the colors. Okay, let's say we want to change the color to something more visible. Then I'll just click on this, edit color, go to Platelet, and I'll just pick my the green orange. It's okay for me, green orange. I apply and okay. So now, what in terms of sales states with sales now, we can use the numbers to judge, okay, yes, this is the highest state with the highest revenue, or we can use the color. You can see that the thicker the color, it means that the higher the sales. All right, the thicker the color, the higher the sales. Now, the interpretation of this diagram is that HO, which is Olhado, made the highest sales, okay, in this specific data set. Okay, then also California, NC, which is New York, Las Vegas. I think it's Las Vegas. They also made the top three that made the highest sales. Okay, the highest sales. Now, what I'll do is I'll right click on this and I'll say the state by the sales. All right, then I'll hit enter. Okay, then I'll right click, make some little editing whereby I will change this from Tableau Light to bold, give a central alignment, change the color, make it white, apply, and okay. Okay, then I can still right click again to format the title, change the shading to black. That's to make our state the title visible. All right, so we have come to the end. Okay, so of this the diagrams which I've been able to show you. Okay, so please ensure you check our next video for the continuation of this project.